today to help people learn the principle of squaring the club face up at impact. It's a problem that happens to a lot of people, is when they come down to the bottom of the swing, the face is pointing to the right of the target, causing a slice or a push to the right. So if we got into our setup position, we'd notice that the club face is pretty much vertical to the ground. Okay? So if we bring the club up so it rests on a tabletop, and we're going to make the swing now on a horizontal plane. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to try and swing this club back on a horizontal plane and not let it lift sort of off the idea of the tabletop here. So as I swing this club back on this plane, make this motion here, we're going to get some turning through the lower trunk, and as I continue to turn, we're going to get some internal rotation with the right shoulder, and that will allow our forearms to rotate. And what that will do is that will put the score lines on the club face pointing to the sky. Okay, so it's rotated through there 90 degrees, pretty much. Okay, so this position is very much the same as our golf position. We're wound up and we've let the forearms rotate, not independently, but because the right shoulder internally rotated and we got some turn through the trunk. Now from this position, we're going to get a slight bumping to the left with our lead hip, a few inches, and then we're going to start to turn our trunk and torso through to the target, which will put a little bit of pull on this lead arm. So as we rotate, our lead arm will pull 3 or 4 inches. And at some point we have to now learn how to square the club face, which we can do by extending our right arm and taking some of the flexion out of our right wrist. So as I make that motion, the extending of my right arm and taking some of the bend out of my right wrist, the club face is going to square up, because that's allowing our forearm to rotate. Right? So it goes from the score lines facing the sky to the score lines being vertical to the ground again. And that's the same position we want at impact. So it's this squaring motion in this the second phase of the downswing that people struggle with. They understand the first concept of, the hub pushing into that left side, creating a bit of the upper torso pulling on the lead arm. But what they struggle to do is time the straightening and extension of that trail arm, the right arm and the right wrist, which really squares the club face up. So if you try it from a horizontal plane, where you get the pull and the extension to square it up, bring it down to the golf plane that we're on, more of a 45-degree angle, you'll see that that mirrors the motion. And then, on the other side of the swing, as I continue to turn my torso, my left arm is going to fold at the elbow, and I'm really going to extend through the right wrist, the full extension. And as I do that there, you can see the club face is now pointing to the ground.